Okay, so we can work with Photoshop's clone tool to remove and copy pixels. So for instance, I come to this image. First thing I need to do in order to work with the clone tool is unlock my image. Now, I want to rotate this image. So I'm going to come to Image, Image Rotation, and I'm going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now what I want to do is actually just get rid of this little branch in the back because it looks like an extension of his head. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to come on over to my clone tool, which looks like a big old stamp, and voila, there it is, the clone stamp tool. Now, first thing I need to do is I need to set my pixels. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go down to about 10 pixels. What I want to do next is I want to zoom in, pull this on down here. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. I come on back to my clone tool. The keyboard shortcut is the letter S. Now, first thing that I want to do is I want to tell Photoshop where I want to sample these pixels from. So I'm going to hold down Option Alt on the Mac. I'm going to click, release my mouse, and now I come on over here and I can see that I have that little cross mark. I have that little cross mark over to the left, and I see the pixels being copied. Now, what I want to look to here is the hardness is at 0. I want to put the hardness up to 100%. And I'm actually going to make my brush a little bit bigger as I come on up to more towards the top. And again, I'm going to select Option right here. I'm going to come right in right there. And voila. Now, what happened though, oh, there we go, that last little step, see, I started, my point got too close and started touching the head. So what I want to do is I want to lower my brush size again, and again, I'm going to come down, Option, click, I'm going to set what color is going to be in there. Now, when I click, I can see that it's sampling right from the blue, and voila, it is all gone. Okay, now what I might want to do too is start at the very beginning, hold down Option again, and come, right along this edge, because what happened actually was when I began, my hardness was at 0%, and probably I wanted to use a hard edge the whole time through. But moving right along, let me zoom it on in, and we can see that that branch behind his head is no longer there. There it was right here, and now it's gone. Now I'm going back into my history panel, and we can see that it is gone. Okay, let's come to my next image, and I want to now remove this images in here. So again, I'm going to unlock my background layer. I want to move this, I want to rotate this counterclockwise. I come to Image Rotation, 90 degrees counterclockwise, and I come back to my Option tool. Now what you're going to find, my clone tool, what you're going to find quite a bit is that you're going to continue to reset what pixels you want. So I'm going to up the size of my brush. I'm going to keep my hardness at a higher number. I'm going to come right into here. I'm going to hold down Option Alt, click. Now for that one, I'm going to change the edges and make the edges, because it's a very faded out image, I'm going to put my hardness of my edges down to 0, so we can see that it has that more faded look. So let's try that again. Come to Option, click. And we can see that as we work with that, it's not as harsh, the changes in this. Now, we could lower this down a bit too. Come down to Option, click. I'm going to come right up into here. Again, I keep resetting what it is that I'm using. Okay, now again, I got to keep resetting it because I can see that it's starting to come up into here. Okay, a lot of times as you work with this too, you're going to be nice and zoomed, really zoomed in. So I want to come very much in close to this. I'm going to click right here, come back to my stamp tool. I want to lower my pixel size for certain. I'm going to hold down Option, click. Again, hold down Option, click. Again, hold down Option, click. Now, as I get this info right around this edge, what I want to do here is actually I'm going to continue with a hardness of 0%. Again, click. Okay, again. Okay, coming on in. A lot of times in Photoshop, you're very much just zoomed in and looking and seeing what is what. All right, I'm going to zoom this on in. Okay, and I can see I can continue to work with this. I'm going to hit pause, work with this, and show you my finished piece. So there we have it. Keep working. I'll unpause when I want you to see something, but here goes a pause. You can see that we can come on in here and we can clean things up. I'm going to zoom it on in, and we can come on back to the very beginning and see what it looked like. Actually, all the way back up in here. Okay, and we come all the way down to the end. Now, what else we could do as we work in the back here, we might think, oh, you know, this looks a little like I cloned it. So some good tools to work with now would be to come on in and work with the spot healing brush tool and the healing brush tool. So with the spot healing brush tool, you could just come and kind of run over it, and what it will do is it will take the pixels that are there and the pixels around it and you know, try to make it into something that makes a little bit more sense. And what else you could do is, as you worked with the versus the spot healing brush tool, if you went to the healing brush tool, you could say, ooh, you know what, I want to take some of these pixels from over here, Option click, and bring them over here. And actually, I should have done it with the hardness and then combine them. So I'm going to do that one more time, but this time I'm going to put the hardness down to 0 because that would actually work much better. So I come to Option, I click, I come over to here, and I can see I'm sampling the pixels from over in there. And then what's going to happen is the pixels that are there that are there will combine with the pixels that are over in here. And I'm going to do a little bit more of that to kind of not let this be so dramatic. All right, so there we have it, the clone tool. Thanks for listening.